Is keto a low protein diet? I can't believe that this is actually a topic that people are arguing over. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because people are arguing over it, which is one of the things I hate about nutrition. I made this comment on Instagram that talking about nutrition is like talking about politics. People don't want to hear your opinion unless it's the same as theirs. So if we have the same opinion, you want to hear my opinion. But if I have a different opinion, then no, we don't have this conversation. Here's the deal, and this is what I found odd. So I was listening to an interview with this PhD researcher, and she commented that keto, like a ketogenic diet, is a low protein diet. Then she starts talking about the literature, and you look at the literature, and sure enough, kids are being fed 90% fat and 10% protein with as little carbohydrate as possible. This is what we do in medicine to control seizures. That's the whole point of ketogenic diets. Like, look at the literature. Ketogenic diets have been used for pediatric epilepsy, especially whenever kids don't respond to medications. So you put them on any variety of seizure medications, and those medications fail. So as a last resort, we put kids on a diet, and their seizures resolve. In some contexts, you'll see as high as 15% protein and roughly 85% fat. Sometimes you'll see 80% fat with like 5% carbs because maybe they're trying to include some fiber. But in general, the diet is as low carb as you could possibly make it. Fiber being kind of a special carbohydrate since it doesn't impact blood glucose. That being said, they're not eating sugar, right? That's not their carbohydrate source. They're getting their carbohydrates from some fibrous vegetables, okay? But otherwise, we're looking at a diet that is 80% fat, 85% fat, 90% fat, with like 15% protein max, oftentimes 10% protein. Just look at the various medical foods that are available, like KetoCal, okay? By definition, that is a low protein diet. Think about that. If I told you that my diet was 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fat, you could argue, well, that's high protein because, protein makes up 40% of your calories. So therefore, it's the largest of the macronutrients. But whenever the diet is 90% fat and 10% protein, that is a high-fat, low-protein diet. Like, by definition, that is a low-protein diet. Ketogenic diets, by definition, are low-protein diets. They're low-carb, but yes, they're also low in protein because they're high in fat. You can't be high protein, high fat at the same time. That wouldn't make any sense. That would just be balanced. Like if you had a 1-to-1 ratio, it would just be like, well, it's neither high fat nor high protein because it's just 50-50. But if it's even like 70% fat and 30% protein, it would still also be considered low protein due to the fact that it's 70% fat, making it a high fat diet. Anyways, so this woman made this comment, and the comment section just went nuts. People were like, keto is not a low-protein diet. This person needs to find out what they're talking about. And people were really mad. And it was like, holy shit. I got something to tell you. Most of the people out there doing keto aren't actually doing keto. Like, they're basically just doing a protein-sparing modified fast. Like, they're eating a lot of protein, more protein than anything else, and then they're eating low-carb, and they're eating low fat, which is a weird thing to me because it's the same people. The keto group is an interesting group of people. They're like, fat doesn't make you fat, and fat's good for you, but also they limit their fat intake. And I find that odd. That seems weird. If you believe that fat doesn't make you fat and you think that fat is good for you, why are you limiting your fat intake? I don't know. I can't answer that question because that's not my logic. My logic is like, eat as much fat as you want because fat doesn't make you fat. It's like it just isn't how it works. Eat 800 calories of fat per day and nothing else. Will you get fat? No. It's 800 calories. Like, you are in a massive deficit. But actually, I'll even go backwards on this and tell you that practically every diet that has a large deficit is a high-fat diet. Yeah. Because you're getting your calories from your body fat. So even if you ate 800 calories a day, from carbohydrates, it would still be probably a relatively high fat intake sort of like metabolically, if you think about it, because now you're burning your body fat. So if you're burning your body fat, do you factor that into the equation? Oh, of course not. That would be complicated. That would require math. But yeah, I mean, look at these people. They're like, oh, caloric deficit is everything. It's the only thing that matters. And it's like, but you do realize that in a caloric deficit, you're burning body fat. So you are getting, in a weird way, you're getting fat intake, but it's coming from stored fat. Ever think about that? No, of course not. But that's why starvation ketosis, starvation ketosis, yes, starvation ketosis, think about that, you're burning stored body fat. Nutritional ketosis, you're burning the fat that you are eating. That's like, people are like, there's no such thing as starvation mode. Well, then what the fuck is, what is ketosis then? If there's no such thing as starvation mode, what is starvation ketosis? Huh. I guess there is something that happens when you're starving. It's called ketosis. I don't understand why people can't see these things. It seems so obvious to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Comment below. Let me know why, starvation ketosis doesn't exist. I'm sure someone will tell me that it's not a real thing. I've had people tell me all kinds of stuff. Like, it's not possible to lose muscle and gain fat at the same time. I had people tell me that. That was an interesting one. I even got booted out of a Facebook group over it. It's just, I don't know anymore. Like, this stuff is just, like I said, talking about nutrition is like talking about politics. Like, people don't want to hear it unless you have the same exact opinion as them. But this isn't an opinion. Like, this is a fact. Look it up. Ketogenic diets, whenever they're implemented in a medical setting, are a low protein, low carb, high fat diet. I don't know why people get defensive and weird about this. Like, there's nothing wrong with you doing a high protein diet. Like, if you're doing a high protein diet, do a high protein diet. If you're doing a protein sparing modified fast, do a protein sparing modified fast. Do it. But like, why do you need to call it keto? And then why would you get offended if someone says, oh no, that's not keto, that's a protein sparing modified fast? And then people get mad about it? It's like, what the fuck? Why are you mad? Like, you just want to use keto as a label? Like, it sounds cool to you? Like, that's not paleo. Whatever. We need to stop getting so hung up on labels. Man. This is like I've talked about before with diet cults and stuff. Like, your diet is not your identity. I know people think it is. I'm vegan. I'm paleo. I'm keto. Whoa, like, chill out, dude. You're not anything. Like, you're just you. This is just some food you eat. Like, you're probably going to change your diet in a couple months anyways. So then, what's your identity going to be? I'm Chad. It doesn't matter what I eat. I'm still Chad. That's my identity. So I don't know what to say about this other than the fact that, this is just a really weird thing, because keto is a low-protein diet by definition. If you're not doing low protein, then you're not really doing a ketogenic diet. You're just doing a low-carb diet, and that's fine too. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like Atkins, whatever. You're doing a low-carb diet. So what? Anyways. Hope this makes sense to some people. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Maybe I am. Maybe I don't know. My wife probably slips me pills or something like that while I'm sleeping. I wouldn't put it past her, She does crazy things like that because she eats carbs. Can't trust those carb eaters. Anyways, like the video if you like the video. If you think that my wife should start slipping me crazy pills while I'm sleeping, send me a message, comment below, and I'll show your comment to my wife. Maybe she'll poison me in my sleep with some, glucose tablets or something, right? Maybe I'll have some jelly beans. Yeah, so comment below. Let me know, do you think keto is a high protein diet because it's 10% protein? If 10% protein is a high protein diet to you, explain why. Explain why. Maybe you get 90% of your calories from alcohol. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that either, right? Because it's just another macronutrient. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content where I basically just talk about facts. This isn't my opinion. Like, 10% is low. Like, that's by definition. If you have 90% on one side and 10% on the other side, the 90% side is the high side. 90 is a larger number than 10. If you agree, be sure to subscribe, because I think 90 is a larger number than 10 as well. But, what do I know? I only have 10 fingers, so I don't really know just how big 90 is. So be sure to like and comment below if this makes sense to you. And if you're keto and this upset you, I would ask you, why does it upset you, actually? Rather than make fun of you, I'm not making fun of you, but I would ask you why it upsets you that keto is a low protein intake. I don't understand that. So maybe someone can explain to me the logic behind that. I don't know, but I just call it low carb. That's what I call it. So if you're eating a lot of protein and you're eating fat, but you're eating low carb, then it's a low carb diet. Not all low carb diets are ketogenic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Lots of people made great progress on low carb diets. It doesn't have to be ketogenic for it to be low carb, and it doesn't have to be ketogenic for it to work. You can do a low carb diet and get all the benefits. Atkins works very well, and Atkins is not necessarily a ketogenic ratio. So, anyways, there you guys have it. Probably went on too long about it, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to talk a lot sometimes to explain these things thoroughly. Otherwise, people will take it out of context, which it'll still get taken out of context anyways, right? But I did my best. So, thanks so much for your time.